Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin, and on this channel I like to share videos about veganism and minimalism and just things that I am doing in my lifestyle. And recently I have decided to start a budgeting series, and the first video that I covered was just going over how much debt that I have accumulated in the last 36 years. I will link that video down below so you can check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But today I think it's very important to talk about how we got into debt in the first place, because I think that that will change how you handle debt in the future and possibly avoid accumulating debt down the road once everything is paid off. So today I'm just going to cover how I got into almost $200,000 worth of debt, and yeah, let's just get right into the video. So obviously the big thing that I owe, and I think this is the case for a lot of people, the biggest debt that people just have is student loans. So background, I didn't even know if I was going to go to college, and when I graduated high school, I think I had applied to just one college, and it was Point Park, and that's where I ended up going to my undergrad. But I ended up choosing a whole different major, and I still wasn't even sure if I was going to do it. But the people that I was living with convinced me, you need your bachelor's, you need to go to school, so you know, you're going. Now, a lot of people, when they go to school, obviously you have to sign over, you have to do the FAFSA and apply for all kinds of stuff. And I applied, and I may or may not be remembering all of this correctly. So if I am wrong, I apologize, but this is how I remember it happening. I applied for I filled out the FAFSA stuff, and I think when school started, or maybe it was like right before school started, I got a call from the financial aid counselor or person in the school and said, you know, we need your dad to fill out all this stuff. My mom passed away when I was 7, so obviously she's not in the picture. And so they said, you know, we need your parents' signature on all of these loans. Well, at the time, my dad and I didn't have a speaking relationship. So there's me thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to go to college now. And so I ended up having to do an appeal every year that I applied for FAFSA or put in the FAFSA stuff. And so my undergrad ended up taking me 5 years, because in my 4th year, I decided to double major because I was already taking a whole bunch of criminal justice classes, and I figured might as well just add another major. So instead of 4 years, it took me 5 years. So I graduated with my undergrad in 2006. And like I said, I had a degree in psychology with a concentration in forensics, and I had a degree in criminal justice. I almost applied for the Pittsburgh Police Academy, but I ended up deciding to stick with psych, and I kept my job at a psychiatric hospital just because I liked the experience and I thought it was, you know, just challenging and interesting. So I worked there for a year, and throughout this time I put my student loans on deferment, I guess, because I was literally making minimum wage, and yeah, I could barely make any other payments besides my rent and the necessities. So in 2007, I decided, hey, I want to continue with this. You can't really do much with a bachelor's degree in psych anyway, so let's just go ahead and get our master's degree. So that's what I did. I applied for more loans, and I did work while going to school, but I don't know if I just didn't grasp or was just stupid. I don't know, but I didn't pay anything while working. Instead of paying my student loans or paying tuition, I just put it all on loans. I put books on, I put literally everything on loans. So that is why my debt for student loans is literally $56,000, I think, or something like that. So yeah, I was very naive going throughout college and grad school about, I think it was just because I wasn't in the moment thinking about how much I was going to have to pay in the future. I was just living in the moment, and that's all I thought about, instead of actually thinking about my future. So that is how I ended up with 150 some odd $1,000 in student loans. After I graduated with my graduate degree, I still didn't pay on my student loans for years, because even with my graduate degree, I was making barely above minimum wage, and that is why I ultimately left the field, because I couldn't make a living with my master's. So yeah, I left the field, and now I'm making what I'm making now, and I'm hoping to be able to pay back a lot of the student loans, if not all of the student loans, as fast as I possibly can. So that is the biggest debt that I have, and I think that's the case for a lot of people. Maybe not the amount that I have, but I think that a lot of people do have student loan debt that's just kind of like weighing them down. The next biggest is my car. Now, this was a very stupid, rash decision of mine. Looking back at it now, I do regret getting my car. I think it was just a jealousy slash I can afford it now, so why not? I was about to take a new job that was going to be paying more, and I knew I could make the payments, but I didn't need to have any car payments, which is the most frustrating thing, because I had a car with no payments. So again, I chalked that up to kind of like an impulse buy. I went to the car dealership, not even for myself that day. I went to the dealership with my friend. He was there to buy a car, and the car salesman literally just did his job and had me believing that I needed a car. And yeah, that's how I have my car debt, and I'm really hoping to have that paid off within the next year or two at the most. I got a 7-year car loan, and I do not want for it to take 7 years. The other things that I have obviously are my credit cards, and I had already paid all my credit cards off in the past twice. 2 of them ended up going into collections, or like kind of into collections, and I had to pay a certain amount every month to get them paid off, and then they were closed. And then I built my credit back up, and with having all these payments and having everything, I don't know how I did it, but my credit came up, and I figured I'd have to have a card for an emergency. And so I did get the card, and I kept it down like a decent amount. And then I had to move across the country, so a lot of that stuff I ended up putting towards the card, and I figured that my company was going to be paying me back for the relocation costs, so I might as well just use that, put it on the card, and then they'll pay me back. And they did give me the money. However, as soon as we got across the country to the place that I was at before in Pennsylvania, my dog ended up ripping his ACL completely, so he needed to have surgery, and that cost like $3,000. So all the money that was supposed to be going towards my credit card to pay it off went to the surgery. So that was definitely not expected. And then that one was like pretty much max, so I got another card, and I don't know, I literally just put small things here and there on there, and here we are. Things that I necessarily didn't need, 100% didn't need, but I still put them on there, and I'm in this predicament now. I would love to be a responsible spender in the future. When I have extra money, will I be? I don't know. So at this point, I just want to pay my credit cards off, lock them, and then, you know, figure out if I can trust myself to have them in the future. Because I can honestly say that I don't know if I could trust myself with credit cards at this point in my life, which is sad, but it's kind of reality. So that's where I'm gonna go from there. And then the last thing that I have is my medical bill, which again may or may not increase, like I said, but the chunk of the medical bill is actually from a procedure that I had done last summer. Yes, last summer in May. I had some issues. I went in for a biopsy, and the biopsy cost a lot of money. I had like I don't know, 3 or 4 mammograms and this biopsy, and it totaled, I think it totaled like $5,000. I paid $2,000 of it off, and now I owe like about $3,000. So yeah, guys, that is my total debt right now. Again, a lot of that obviously is student loans, but I think that it's important for you to recognize your spending habits and recognize where you got into trouble, where I got into trouble in the past, currently, so that in the future, like I said, I can figure out whether or not I can trust myself with credit cards and, you know, things like that, because I don't want to be in this position again 5, 10, 20 years down the road. I want to learn from my mistakes today so that I have a better future, you know, for tomorrow. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it and want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I will put this in the playlist with the budgeting series, just because I think it could be beneficial for other people to kind of think about your own situation and where you want to go in the future and looking back in your past. And if you want to see more videos like this and on veganism and, you know, just lifestyle in general, go ahead and again hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.